Welcome back to the most professional StarCraft 2 with the most professional StarCraft 2 player. In the blue, the finisher, it's Serral. But once again stacked against the best and possibly last hope for the Protoss. Not the one we deserve, but the one we need right now. It's Hero. A best of 5 Protoss versus Zerg showdown. And whether you want to see Serral continue his dominance, or you're willing to do something you've never done before on the ladder, which is root for Protoss. Either way, before we get started, it'd be awesome if you could smash that like button and maybe even subscribe. And Jimmy, what are we at? It's not about being original, it's about being consistent. Look at Serral. Not right now. 1,404 likes on this video, on this cast, and I'll cast another one. And I'll probably do it anyways. I don't know what else I'd do with my life. But thank you for watching. Hopefully you've had a good day so far, and hopefully it's about to get just a little bit better. Hero opening things up with the Oracle. Serral takes the base down the center. A rich Vespene available there. He's already got Zergling speed finishing up, and just enough lings to make sure the Adept's life is very hard if it comes too far across. Single Oracle, Twilight Council already on the way. And no second Oracle in production, so Hero trying to undercut any sort of early economy that Serral has. Not with the Oracles and Adepts necessarily, but instead is rushing out some sort of Twilight Council tech. He's saving with a few asterisks in there, the gas from getting 2 more Oracles, and instead is going to sink it into Blink. So a Blink Stalker rush. Because no Forge, no extra Oracles, you're able to get a whole lot of Blink Stalkers early on and try to pressure this base, which is, I mean, let's hope they're good neighbors, but I certainly doubt they will be. As both players will have access to that rich Vespene geyser. You mine it twice as fast as, well, almost twice as fast as your basic Vespene. You don't have more gas in that geyser, just mines out way more quickly. Helps you grow the tech tree like a bamboo shoot. And speaking of bamboozling, I don't know if Serral actually knows anything about that Twilight yet. The single Oracle is a little suspicious. Does he have any Spore Crawlers in the other base? Spore in the main, Spore in the natural, covering his bases, literally and figuratively. But right now, he doesn't actually need it. So Hero has drawn out these Spores, he's encouraged the Queens, and by the time Hero's coming across the map with the Blink Stalkers, Serral will only have access to maybe some basic Sloaches and Zerglings. But the Overlord is coming in. It sees there's no more production in the Stargate. It's gonna see, God, the Overlord. It sounds like a corporate PowerPoint presentation, but the Overlord pathing on each of the bespoke maps in the StarCraft 2 pool is just so incredibly efficient when we apply the Serral method of geometry here. I don't know how he always gets the single Zergling, the Overlords in exactly where he needs it. It seems like something that anyone should be able to replicate, but seldom do. Meanwhile, now Hero is being as annoying as possible, but using Revelation in order to hit up to the... Susan, no! Oh, it's okay, Brenda. All right, she lived a good life. It was like 3 minutes. That's all we can ask. Sorry. Oh, blacked out for a second. The Zerglings trying to chase down the Blink Stalkers. Very important. No extra upgrades here, so even against the Zerglings, really having trouble fighting heads up. But Hero doesn't need to fight fair. The moment the fight turns against him, he can blink back towards safety, which is not too far away. A hop, skip, and a jump up the ramp. Almost loses the Oracle to Corrosive Bile. And in this matchup, I certainly don't want to miss any more big Corrosive Biles like myself and Hero did the last time they faced off on this map. I don't think I'll ever go that one more. Hero, you're not supposed to lose 7 Void Rays to like 4 Corrosive Biles. But when Hero does it, he's a professional gamer. When I do it, I'm bad and sad. I mean, okay. Infestation pit on the way. The skirmishes continue. Both players still building up. Serral progressing his tech. Stasis is huge here. Can be used as something of a force field, but also kind of a liability. He stasis so many Zerglings, it's going to be kind of hard to retreat from that angle. Trying to take out some more creep tumors. Didn't quite knock out that extra one at the bottom of the ramp. Should be able to finish it off momentarily. More corrosive bows. Lings are about to come out of stasis. Of course, Hero knows that. Picks off a couple extra. The groovy spawn's about to complete. Ravagers and Lings looking for the surround, but Hero pulls back just in time. Charge is completed. Still no upgrades at all for either side. Both of them going to have +1 about 20 seconds out. The Queens get surrounded, but the support comes in from the Roaches. Meanwhile, Blinkstalker's fighting in the center. Zerglings coming over the top. Another stasis point-blank range, and Serral pulls back, and the stasis ends up catching a bunch of the Zerglings and makes a nice little choke point there that Hero can use if Serral tries to chase him down. Meanwhile, though, fourth base attempted. A sick guy, you can't be in here. Well, oh, no cancel. Actually, and ends up losing, what did, oh, he lost an Oracle. He rebuilt another one. And the Scouting Immortal, actually, I think at the end of the day, well, Immortals actually really suck against Zerglings. They prefer larger targets like Roaches, obviously hatcheries, your mother, Ultralisk. There's a lot of variety of options that do not include Zerglings. Hey, guys. Entaro, what was his name? Tassidae? Who is this guy? Again? Coming up over the corner with that revelation. Hero has like 7 idle probes, which is good to give your workers a break. So they can rest. Very generous of him. Meanwhile, Serral at 82 drones. Hero continually sending out zealots to try to get the damage done and pull Serral back. And to mild success. Kills a few drones, pulls back some of the army, but there's just not enough time. But Disruptor's on the field, opens the salvo, and nothing but air. Yes, idle probes. Thank you, Observer. It's just, you know, it's maximum efficiency. Again, coming up over the top. Going to kill the extractor for... It doesn't quite finish it off. And now lurkers are done. So how many stalkers is an extractor worth? Well, none for now, but... Seismic Spine's on the way. We've been skirmishing for so long, but Serral has not slowed down his tech. He already has that hive done, obviously. Well, lurkers can be built without a hive. They just shouldn't be. Double shot. Knocks out half the lurkers. Another shot. The fadeaway hits home. And Serral loses 20-something supply. And 2 more lurkers as well. Hero removing the key parts of the army. And starting to core out the less key parts and the more overwhelming ones as well. Storm is on the way. Something a bit more reliable than the Ruptors, especially with the Vipers on the field. But Hero's done a great job of keeping the pressure on Serral. But it hasn't been a critical amount. Serral has still been mining from these bases, besides that one extractor that he's been intermittently enjoying. Oracle comes in, Revelation, yep, those are Zerg. Going to need another one of those. Very important to have Revelation for the lurkers because observers are anything but reliable. The extractor fight, Immortal gets in. And was it worth 2 Immortals to kill an extractor? The Queens say yes. The Protoss don't say anything. They don't have mouths. I say no. And you can say what you'd like. +1 air weapons on the way, which means the fleet beacon will be joining us soon, TM. Oh. He contaminated the Templar archives. Oh, beautiful stasis. Perfect placement. Storm is already done, unfortunately. Of course, Serral had an Overlord back there ready for contaminate and a lurker drop. And the Sloverlords. But Overlord speed is on the way. I think this was the classic morph them into Dropper Lords and then realize you don't have Overlord speed situation. There's the fleet beacon for Hero. No, let me, guys, hello? Guys, anyone? Yes, we're fighting it out in the center of the map. Lurker drops loaded up. Disruptor shots, another 2 lurkers down. Yanks in, but another volley. That salvo able to take out 1. He fires off enough that the Vipers can't actually stop him. And the impasse continues. But Serral is now about to circumvent it on 2 different fronts. Tries to get the Archon merge. It's not happening. No storms. Meanwhile, Lurker drop headed towards the main. Half a dozen Lurkers in those Overlords. And the Zealots are holding the line, but 10 probes are down. And the line is quickly being erased by the Zerg. The Lurkers underneath. The Gas Geysers already mined out, so no revenge on that front. But unfortunately for Hero, Serral is in the main, and he's gutting the base. The Forges are going to be depowered and dismantled. The +3 weapons is going to be taken out. There's a mothership on the way, but the Nexus itself is vulnerable. Brings in an Overseer. Disruptors out on the field on their own will be surrounded by the Zerglings. He's trying to find a shot, but there's not going to be enough. More storms. Feedback. Vipers take a lot of damage. Yanks in another Ruptor. Hero in the main base is about to lose his fleet beacon. It's gone. The Stargates are falling as well. The Nexus itself building the mothership core, but it's a disaster for the Korean Protoss. Oh no, he can't build any Tempest. Wow, he tries to go to the side. Serral's actually right-clicked on the Nexus. He gets it before the mothership completes. He does allow Hero to take out those Lurkers with relative ease, but he denied the mothership entirely. Oracle comes in, slaps down a Revelation. There's still so many Lurkers at the front. He yanked it a Zergling. He missed it on the Disruptor. Oh. Technically, though rarely seen, you could use Abduct on your own units, but the practicality is limited. And it feels like Hero was always right on the edge of getting good damage done. Of maybe taking out a base or finding the engagement that allowed him to really build some momentum. But Serral just backhanded him again. I'm not even sure that recall is a good idea, but loses the Nexus. Might be able to crush this army, but look at the supply. It is a dire situation at best for Hero, as Serral with a comprehensive attack that dismantled the main, the outlying bases, and now he's working on the army itself. 100 supply gap. That's it. That's enough. Game 1 will go to Serral. As soon as Hero admits it. GG. A well-executed... Just... It sometimes feels impossible. Hero had a solid timing. With great micro with those Blink Stalkers. But he just didn't make any progress in time. Serral was not looking to win the game. I think the difference between the two was that Serral was not looking to win on that mid-game tech. He was just looking to live. Whereas Hero invested almost everything into winning outright with those Blink Stalkers. He cut the Forge early, so that way he could get more damage done. And it wasn't enough. So all Serral had to do was hold until his tech kicks in, and then he can kick Hero out. Hero, on the other hand, needed to do some damage, and he just didn't find it. Killing a Rich Vespine Extractor 4 times is good, but it is far, far from great. And yeah, Serral went for the double Extractor trick into 16 hatch, which you skip the first Overlord to get a hatchery as quickly as possible. Because, as you know, and this is a science fact, probes are the most annoying unit in the game. When you compare the amount of annoyance per unit, I'm talking about per singular instance of unit. Yes, Liberators are annoying. Ghosts are annoying. Widow Mines. Siege tanks. Not that there's a trend here, but per single unit, the amount of stress created by the probe is by far, I think, the winner here. By an order of magnitude. Cannon rushes, proxies, the amount, and just the mineral flirting in the early game. An individual probe is still the greatest annoyance here. And of course, blocking the base. Like, Serral's early hatchery build here was so he could get a hatchery before the probe gets to his base and slaps down a pylon or just circles around and says, no. If only hatcheries could fly. Yeah. I imagine if the probe, and since probes are robots, they're robots, right? Can probes feel? Some days I hope so. But that means they can have tongues. Okay. Check out my OnlyFans for more info on that. But I imagine they're just going around just blowing raspberries at the drone as it tries to take a hatch. Or at least that's how it used to be before players like Serral worked out these extremely early hatchery builds, or just go and take the third. There was a time for like a year or two that players would bring like two drones down to try to fight, but then you just slap the pylon down and it just keeps getting worse, and the rabbit hole just gets deeper. So most players just accepted expanding either to your own third or their natural. But taking your own naturally is something that is a luxury as opposed to a standard play. Whole bunch of drones on the way. Game 2 looking very similar so far, but the Oracle, we'll see if Hero follows up with a second one, or if he's going to try the Twilight yet again. A Zergling, waiting. No. No. Oh, yes, says the... goddamn probes. He's clicked onto it. We'll chase it down. And Moracle's on the way. As Hero, gonna try to keep the pressure on. The Queen's politely yet firmly encouraging that Oracle to leave. What's in the main? How is there something in the main? Don't you have a Stalker? Of course he does. Does that matter? No. Forge before any other tech. I imagine the Twilight. Is he going to see the Forge? I think so. And look at the pathing here. He can see every part. He's gonna see the Forge. He sees another gate. The Twilight just built at the natural. But Serral gets the info. +1's on the way. It looks like Blink here, but he's already getting on 3 more gates. The triumvirate of Oracles is completed. Heads in for the main. Gonna try to burn through the Queen, but not today. Get off my tree! Hey, Brenda, oh my. Not gonna happen. Tries to kill off the Queens directly, but Serral, on seeing that it was 3 Oracles, sees the third, sees a chrono boost on something that wasn't even building a probe, but he slaps out another 10+ drones. He's gonna be at 70 drones at 5.5 minutes, which is, for reference, in my relatively new player guides, if those exist nowadays, in StarCraft 2, I tell players to aim for 50 workers by 8 minutes. Zerg may be a little earlier because of the larva mechanic, but certainly, well, 70 by 5.5 minutes is like, and he's built Zerglings and Queens and Spore Crawlers, so I do wonder how many he could get if he didn't build like 90. Could you get 100 drones by 6 minutes with perfect pinpoint macro? The amount of idle probes. Also, what's going on with it? Please don't shade that so I can look at this. Oh, there was a single worker going by. Is that a... There's a spot. Mutas? What a crazy play. Wow, Serral is confident here. Though there's an infestation pit on the way as well, so... Like 5, 6 mutas into a hive? It hasn't been scouted. The oracles are being very wary at the moment. Spire is finished. There's enough money for 7 Mutalisks to start. And what's it gonna be? I think Serral's trying to get the info here. Yeah, trying to figure out exactly what he wants. He didn't quite have the larva either. 8, 9 mutas on the way. And without any vision of this, the reason why Mutalisks are not a common choice against Protoss are because if they scout it, you've already got a Stargate. They probably already have Blink Stalkers. It's not too hard to put up your defenses and deal with it. But if you're completely blindsided by any number of mutas, but double digits is certainly a dangerous one. It takes only 5 mutas to one-shot probe, so, wow. Ladies. The mutas try to evade any oh my god. It's a disaster. He had absolutely no vision of this at all. No defenses, nothing back at home. He's chrono boosting out of Phoenix, but absolute disaster for Hero. He may never financially recover from this. Select all armying everything back. Does he have Storm done? No. Those are just Archons, the Immortal back there, and Serral knows what that means. He knows what sort of panic has been induced. That means the army is out of position to defend the 4th base, and that certainly isn't going to make things easier. Almost flies into his own corrosive bile. Hero just F2ing everything back home. The stasis helps a bit, but 17 probes already dead. Might be able to just take out the Nexus. Hive is halfway done. Lurker Den on the way. Just in case Hero's able to defend this attack outright. The mutas swing back into the natural where there's no hope of any... Wait, he doesn't have Blink. He went charge first. I bet Serral's a little surprised as well. Like, Hero's going for a charge lot Archon timing. Serral has not built any additional... That's it. These are the mutas. As the Phoenix count grows, it gets easier and easier. As you see, just taking them out. Not even bothering anymore. Shield battery, more than enough. 10 more probes down, but Serral has a hive done now. He's carved out so much space with these Mutalisks. The door is wide open, and the Zerglings run on in. Zealots warped in. And Mass Charge Lot is great, except against Mass Lurker. Or Banelings, I guess. But actually, they're kind of okay against Banelings, so they trade pretty well, because Banelings cost gas. Lurkers, on the other hand, also cost gas, but that's not really the point. No Adrenal Glands on the way, but 15 probes dead. Serral getting a 5th, and wait, no. Getting a 6th base at the gold. And this manages to assassinate 1 queen. Yeah. Well, Hero still has a lot of supply and a very dangerous army. Here's the thing. Here's the problem. It's Lurkers. That's it. That didn't need much more explanation than that. There's already 6 Lurkers, 4 more on the way. Warp Prism taken down. And in fact, losing drones at this time is not even necessarily a bad thing for Serral. Oh, Stasis catches a few units. Full energy Vipers. Yanks an Eruptor. Down she goes. Another Stasis. But it's almost at the point where it's a liability for Hero with that many units in Stasis. But he's going to try to crush. He's going for the Ruptor flank, which is optimistic at best. He tries to abduct the Disruptor, but it's already dead. Blinding Cloud! Serral uses the Blinding Cloud and his own Stasis units! Oh, no! Oh, wow. So recognizing that opportunity mid-fight, I gotta go to the Serral cam. He noticed something down there. He sees the prism. Waiting to see what comes out, just staring right at it. Goes for it. Sees an opportunity. And God, it's just a dominant fight. There's not nearly enough on the ground. Hero tried to use this opportunity because it wasn't going to get any easier. Like, at that stage, it's not getting any better. So, Serral with another decisive victory, bringing him to match point. Hero showing some interesting ideas, but again, Serral just kind of undercuts him. Well, in game one, I think the Blink Stalkers had a real opportunity. Serral looked untouchable. Whereas that last game, he read him like a book. All right, game 3, Oceanborn. He recognized, I don't know if he recognized it was charge, or he just thought it was a good time for the mutas, as Hero had overcommitted, or committed so hard to the oracles and they did nothing. If you do have that sort of economy, like that 70 drones at 5.5 minutes economy, you can afford to kind of sidestep and pick up another tech like mutas and still get to a hive in a timely manner. Words cannot stress, but they will attempt to, how much I dislike, I strongly dislike this sort of wall. So it allows you to wall off with just 2 large buildings. But it is just more vulnerable as time goes on, and it doesn't help hide your tech too much. The main benefit is, of course, you don't need that second gateway to wall off as early, so you can focus either on economy or tech more. But Adept is on the way. Is he going to do the fake out with the warp gate? No. Just building warp gate. What did he just spend 100 gas on? A sentry? What? Overlord in the main. I don't know what that probe was waiting on. Another gate? Hero's like, I'll do everything you're not supposed to do. So that way. Well, unfortunate. And then Serral just gets a Zergling in anyway, so whatever sort of mind games. Wow. Oh my god, it's an absolute disaster. This was Hero, he's just straight up doing a 4-gate. This is... Honestly, this feels a little sad. What are you trying to accomplish? He was clearly trying to hide it. Was looking for the Overlord, hiding the gateways. He's got this wall off that means he doesn't have to show as much at the front. But then Serral just gets a Zergling in, right in between the Adept and the Sentry. So... Roach Warren's on the way quite early. Because, well, one, he already saw multiple gates. I'm sure he's assuming it's like Glaive to Depths or something. Like, there's a Twilight somewhere out there. It's not a Stargate. That is known. But it's just 4-gate. Hero with the, if I don't know what... Oh, well. If I don't know what I'm doing, you can't know what I'm doing build. Not exactly the build that is most likely to beat Serral, I feel, but a whole bunch of stock Adepts shading across. And the Adept Glaives are implied, but they're not, they don't exist. So he's just fighting with Zerglings, which against stock Adepts are much better. They do not get slaughtered nearly as quickly, so be forced back. Serral's only at 36 drones. He's only building a few more now. I do think Serral is somewhat confused by what this is. Trying to figure out what tech it is. And the real bamboozle is that it's not. There's no Glaives. There's no Stargate. There's no Dark Templar. It's just a bunch of Adepts. Ah, yes, a classic Protoss tactic. Though I doubt Classic would ever actually use this one. He's just getting +1. And Serral's over here hurting himself in his own confusion, really. He has to treat it like those could be Glaive Adepts, even if he's pretty sure they won't be. And that means he's had to build a lot of army supply here instead of economy. So we're in a very odd spot for this stage of the game, where Serral's economy is pretty lackluster. But Hero also has no tech. So the question comes down, he's building 3 shield batteries. He's anticipating a counter swing here. And there will be something, but Serral is not intent on committing to some big all-in. He has enough Roach Ravager to keep the Adepts at bay. He hasn't built a whole lot of Queens. He's rushing. It could be Swarm Host. Yeah, that feels very... I'm getting some... Is that you, Richard? I'm getting some real Swarm Host vibes from this one. Because that is just so early on. Though he's not really banking up any money, so... We'll find out. Overlord's popping. Infestation pit completed. Serral only had 66 drones. Hero been doing a great job of just keeping Serral busy. Overlord gets in, gonna spot the Robo Bay. As well as a Forge upgrading. He'll realize that's likely to be +2. And he chooses the Hive. Zealot doing a great job cosplaying. Wow. I think Serral didn't recognize it was a changeling for a moment, but Shrine to Dark on the way. Hydra Den, Lurkers will be next. And Serral got supply blocked a couple too many times this game. He's going to pull all his OVs back to his main. The Overlord moot. That happens a lot of the time once you get to the point of no longer... Like, you've already got 6, 7 Overlords out there. And that's more than usual because they didn't go Stargate. But at some point, they're just a liability, literally hanging out. Adepts in a Prism. I wonder if Serral realizes at this point it was just... obviously, he realizes, but did he suspect it was just a bunch of Adepts? He had to be anticipating Glaives, but here we are. Blink is done. Stargate on the way. Where is that Dark Shrine? Oh yeah, just hanging out in the main. Serral did not see it. There is a Spore. More Adept shading through. Hero down 50 supply now, but that's not too surprising at this stage of the game. And Serral moved out of position. And now we'll lose a chunk of that drone lead. Yeah, Hero finds a good timing. Meanwhile, what? 2 hallucinated Phoenixes just hanging out in the main. Hydralisk Den. Lurker Den and Evolution Chamber. Just a little tech outpost there. Oracle on the way. Revelation for Lurkers. The Stalkers. Blink away. Force fields are good. Corrosive Bile will knock him down. 2 layers of force field will lock him in. And he ran out of force field. Which is highly unfortunate, because maybe could have gotten another 10-15 supply there. Fleet Beacon is on the way as Hero calls to the Sky Toss for help. As that might be the only thing that could deal with Serral when he takes the ground. The DTs. There's an Overseer there, so good luck. He's gonna get a merge. The Queens shut things down. And that army is not really where it should be. The Vipers see no reason to participate, as really there's nothing there for them to do. Blinding Cloud maybe, but it might just end up hurting more than helping. So the Viper's looking for those Ruptors. One! Binding Cloud on the Blink Stalkers. Oh my, did he actually dodge every bit of that? I think so. Somehow manages, get over here! And doesn't kill the Warp Prism amusingly, but still does a lot of damage. Another Blinding Cloud. Takes out one of the Vipers. And Hero with a Mothership, a Disruptor, +3, and a Dream in production right now. Well, another wave of charge launch spreading out the cannons at his 4th base in order to minimize the effectiveness of lurkers. Speaking of lurkers, 13 in production, alongside all the other late game tech you could want. Well, I want Ultralisk, but clearly Serral doesn't. And against most Protoss armies, finally a couple Tempests on the way. Six Spine Crawlers in production for Serral. Both players shoring up the defenses. Templar Archives just now started. Drops a Revelation. And some charge slots headed for the southern base. War Prism outside. Picks off one Lurker. Blinks out before too much more damage can be done. Spine Crawlers will be sliced up by the Zealots, but sliced in turn by the Lurker. Hydras and Lings takes out a few more. Oh my god! Was that a Ravager or a Lurker? Get the camera out of the way. Another Spire in production as Serral makes his first Spire great again. Meanwhile, the Lurker's dodging disruptor shots. There is a Tempest. 58 more Zerglings on the way. Adrenaline's done. Queen's holding the line. Susan, hold on! Hold on! I'm holding. I'm always holding. It's like GameStop. We told you not. We told you not to, Susan. Well, when I first bought this game, I bought it from a box from GameStop, okay? So, I'm just saying, it's kind of nostalgic. It's pretty meta, Susan. I don't know. Greater Spire, almost completed. Secondary upgrade Spire as well. And a whole lot of... This is Serral trying to get rid of some of the supply as efficiently as possible. But he's going up against a wall of cannons. Good luck with that. One on the way in the skies. And +1 flyer attack. Serral also has a full energy Overseer at the back. And that could come in at a key timing. We got 6 Corruptors on the way. A 5th base for Hero. If he's able to get that, he will have the gas to support this sort of army composition. Serral should and probably will make issue of it. Especially, he's expanding to both corners. Hero commits to one side, he can commit to the other. I'm sure there'll be charge lots heading out. One way or another. Or both. Overseer Overlord. Spots the Warp Prism. And the Corruptors knock it down. There are the Lurkers hanging out as well. A Sporchard out at the front. Just zoning out. What are you doing? Oh. I think it's in time. Oh wait, he recalled. I thought he was recalling the mothership. He recalled the army forward. Wow, Serral obviously recognized that though. Took a second to interpret what I was seeing, but Hero brings the army forward and is actually chewing through. Fires off disruptors. Knocks out a lurker. Damages another. Chewing through the spine crawlers. Meanwhile, Serral with just Roachling on the third, though. A bare bones defense. Actually, no defense at all. The base is just gone. Wipes out a wave. He's going to warp in some DTs, but the Overseers are there, of course. What a waste of another 1,000 gas. Oh, no. Hero with a big play. But Serral's more like Shakespeare. There's just so much damage being done on the other side. Those Templar need to get the damage done, but the mothership is knocked out of the sky. Hero He's lost his cyber core. The roachling is at the natural. There's still some money in the bank. He recalls home with the survivors. Zerglings may be able to kill some Templar, not quite. And hero supply is not... It's bad. But it's not over. Serral put the right amount of units in the very right place. And of course, the correct time. And now, Hero's tactics are good, but his execution is not good enough. The forward recall via Mothership looked like it had an opportunity, and it did. But Serral was able to do more counter damage with less expensive units. And now we see a Mothership, a Cyber Core, and a Templar in the production tab. And I'm sure if I was a more clever caster, I could come up with a joke for that one. But the real joke is Protoss late game tech. Watch this Tempest give a deep tissue massage to some of these roaches. Indeed. The Serral doesn't have Burrow, which he's realizing now, but 10 more Brood Lords on the way. Well, the first 10 Brood Lords. And 2-2 on the way. The Queens! Well, small pick-off there. Knocks out all 4 Queens. Well, actually, there's still one more at the back. But the Infestors have arrived. Heroes managed to get back up to 190 supply. And that is Sky Toss. There's only 9 Corruptors against 9 Tempests. Which, in a heads-up fight, I'm not actually confident the Tempests win that. Even though it really feels like they should. But that's not how we're fighting it. We're not fighting it like it's some silly YouTube short with unrealistic amounts of units in micro. But instead, Hero versus Serral with Hero on the ropes. And Big Fungal. He doesn't have any Vipers for Parasitic Bomb. Another one. But the Storms are zoning out the Corruptors. Gonna knock out a couple Tempests. But the Tempest Valley's gotta be somewhat careful. The overkill. Mothership. And active cloaking to prevent any extra chip damage. A single lurker, though, found an opportunity at the back. Kills 9 probes. And Serral is not letting up. Hero never retook his third base. Revelation is used to get any sort of detection on that lurker. But, it's bad. Hero keeps taking a step or two forward, but he has to take so many back. And Serral just, it feels like he's tightening the noose. 2-2 across the board, the upgrades. About to have +3 melee. Oh, the backbone of the defense. Spines and spines. Lurkers and crawlers. Tempest caught out. Knocked down. Is recall even off cooldown? Yes. Okay. Mothership takes out a base. Spine crawlers burrows the drones. He's actually just dragging him into the lurkers. A lot of the lurkers committed over to the right side. And what? Oh, he recalls the army to a nexus in order to reposition. Which, it's a bit of a desperate play, but Serral may not... I think those changelings were under the army and Serral saw it, so he may know recall was used. He's already moving into position to deal with it. He's got 3-3 flyer, and he bounces back to the other side. Trying to outposition the Corruptors. Hey guys, my life for ire. I hear that? No. Those changelings again in position to see it all. The Infestors and Templar see each other, and barely any spells are cast somehow. Lurkers slicing through. They're gonna get the Templar archives. Neural Parasite is on the way, and I'm very surprised it wasn't on the way earlier. A Immortal was left behind. The Hero just scrambling. Well, that Neural Parasite is closing in. Hero's army is still very dangerous. It might seem like Serral is taking his time here, but one bad fight, and suddenly we've seen a lot. A Protoss versus Zerg. Well, Serral rarely takes bad fights. Parasitic Bomb, Fungal, Wombo combo, Storms to try to zone things out. It's not enough right now. The Mothership goes down. Parasitic Bomb still ticking away on the Tempest. doing more and more damage. A single lurker is not enough. He actually... Are we going to take out the hatch? Indeed he does. Oh, the Hydras are burrowed. And unlike their lurker evolutions, they are definitely not as good while burrowed. Hero, 160. He's building some Void Rays. He rebuilt the Templar Archives. Revelation on the Broodlords. The Changeling still hanging out. What are these Overlords doing? Tanking Templar. They'll run out of ammo. No Parasite is ready. Gets a Fungal. The Tempests are chewing away, though. Knocks out another Brood. More Storms. Storms across the board. Broodlords closing in. Recalls out. A lot of the Templar left behind. Kind of an awkward... Okay. Oh, he recalls... No. Wait. Okay. The Changelings keep confusing everyone. That's just the Changeling zone, okay? That's the designated Changeling area. But the Broodlords left on their own. And Void Ray's even latching onto him. Neural Parasite on the Void Ray. It actually glides out of lock-on range for the Neural. And will escape just barely. But Hero keeps bouncing back and forth across the map. But he has less and less each time. Serral doesn't have a ton of money. He's really struggling. Hero is really working the Mothership. Mothership does have recall ready. And he's grouping up for it. He's on top of it, but he's on top of the spores as well. Preemptive microbial shroud for the infestors. Mothership is time warp. Time warp yanks it in. Wait, where's the anti-air? The corruptor's off the mark. The Tempests are fighting. The Mothership kills a Viper. Nobody, he's just ignoring them, but this is just disrespectful. He's gonna kill the rest of the army. Not kill me! Okay, the Mothership goes down. And with it, hope. The Blankstalker's trying to come forward, but the Lurkers will strongly disagree. Lurkers underneath, he can see him. The Archons are pinned up against it, and... I don't know, Hero. Yes, I do. That's all. Yeah. GG! Serral takes it 3-0. Hero with some great ideas, but quite decisively sending us to our bonus game, which is Dark versus Astrea. Yes, you wanted some Dark. You wanted something a little weird. Well, you weren't gonna get it from Serral. Hero maybe, but Serral with clean execution. Hero pulling him to the brink, but never past it. Hero just a little too sloppy, and some of the risks just did not pay off. But, yes, what does our lauded American player Astrea do against Dark? I talked about probes and the problems they create. And he sees it. No, Jimmy. Also no. There. So the Overlord has spotted it. Astrea is now aware the Overlord has spotted it. He's gonna try to wall off with the spawning pool on the ramp. So Astrea proxy gating Dark. Because, you know, I can't really blame him for this. And the positioning there... Is this an easier map to proxy gate? Is he tried to use... Well, the Overlord spotted it, so any element of surprise is just absolutely gone. Already working back at home. 2 Zealots on the way. The oldest build in StarCraft. Not even StarCraft 2. I'm pretty sure Proxy 2-Gate Zealot was very much a thing in the Brood War. But the Zerg response may have been slightly different. Having 2 bases already, 6 Zerglings on the way, the Spinecrawler, having that extra warning, he's just gonna go for the spawning pool. I do wonder if Dark put the spawning pool here just to try to bait this out. Like, wait, hello? He's gonna go for the pylon. Like, if he fights the spawning pool, it ends up working out. He's just targeting the pylon. Meanwhile, the zealots, slicing away at the spawning pool. A queen comes out, and the pool at 100 health. The queen. Is he not gonna kill it? A cybercore back at home. I don't know if killing the spawning pool is actually the most meaningful part of things now, though. If you commit these units and you kill the spawning pool but lose them all, that doesn't really get you much further ahead. Astrea actually has more workers. Adepts. Start chewing through the drones. The zealots! Get off my queen! Brenda! I don't... Oh my god, they're not gonna get it! What a noob! You can't say that, say it in Korean! Oh my... What a save! It's a disaster. Meanwhile, the Zerglings are working on the wall in dark with several HP to spare. Will save the pool, and knowing Dark, he put that pool there as a decoy. As, a scarecrow, really. In order to draw the attention and the units away from killing workers or even worse. So now Dark has Zerglings in the base. Zergling speed is done because the spawning pool lived, and a baneling nest is on the way, because of course it is. And Dark, unlike Serral, when he's ahead, instead of getting more ahead, he decides, I'm gonna go fucking kill him. So, Warp Gate is done, which would be great if Astrea had any gateways to make into Warp Gates. On the other side, they're depowered, and back at home, they're not even done. He's trying to expand, and if Dark would just give him, say, another 15 seconds, he'd be fine. Well, it would be great. Shield battery overcharge. Astrea, does he know? If he doesn't warp in sentries, he loses the game. To Adepts. And here, I give you the difference between Dark and Serral. GG! Dark doesn't keep us waiting. Busts his way through and gives us our anti-spoiler game, and hopefully made your day just a little bit better. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed. And if you got the means of motivation, it'd be awesome to check out Patreon or YouTube membership. And also, I think going forward, I'm not committing to it yet, but I'm thinking about how I'm going to go about it. But taking half of what we're doing on Patreon and using it directly to support tournaments, community tournaments. Because organizing and running tournaments, one does not simply say, I'm putting on a tournament, everyone show up. There's a lot of work and rules and things that, and you hope everybody's going to be good about it, but there's a lot of organization. So I'd rather support the organizations that have been putting in that hard work than put in that hard work myself. Because I'd like to focus on showing good games to the fans. So if you enjoy that, be awesome if you could like, subscribe, and again, maybe Patreon as well. But thank you for watching. Good luck. Have fun. I'll see you next time. I'll see you soon. See you. I was going to say tomorrow, but probably. Okay. Stay chill. Cut!